They told him to run. That loving her would ruin his life. That she wasn't the kind of woman you saved. She was the kind you survived. But Hosea Daniels, he didn't see what they saw. He saw the girl behind the bruises, the spark behind the sarcasm, the soul behind the walls. And on a night when the rain fell heavy and the city held its breath, he made a choice that would cost him everything. In the heart of the city, where streetlights flickered and sidewalks never truly slept, there was a small, aging church on the corner of 5th and Rosewood. It wasn't much to look at: peeling paint, cracked stained glass, a cross that leaned ever so slightly. But for the broken and the hungry, it was the warmest place in the neighborhood. Hosea Daniels had spent 3 years there, running the youth outreach program and the late-night soup kitchen. He wasn't flashy, but there was something in his eyes, a quiet steadiness that made people feel seen. That night, the rain was falling hard. Then the door swung open. She walked in like she owned the rain. Leather jacket clinging to her shoulders, mascara smudged into smoky shadows, a faint bruise on her cheek. Her lips curled into a half smirk, the kind you wear when you've already decided not to let anyone in. You can sit anywhere. The food's still hot. Her name was Gomer Reyes. She didn't give it to him at first. But by the 3rd night she came in, she told him just enough to make him wonder about the rest. How she'd been working for a man named Marcus, how she hated sleeping, and how she couldn't remember the last time she felt clean. 2 weeks later, Hosea was praying in the empty sanctuary after midnight when it came. Not in a booming voice, not in thunder or fire, but in the smallest whisper against his heart. Love her. Not because she's ready. Not because she'll love you back. Love her because I do. The next evening, he found her leaning on the counter, stirring her soup like she was trying to see her future in it. Gomer, would you have dinner with me? Somewhere that's not here. She laughed, sharp and disbelieving. Preacher boy, you don't want to be seen with me anywhere. Maybe not. But I want to be there. Everyone told him it was a bad idea. But Hosea couldn't shake the whisper. And so, against reason, against advice, he stepped forward. It started small. Not love, not yet, but something like a truce. He took her to a diner that smelled of coffee and cinnamon rolls. She kept her jacket on, but when the waitress brought her pancakes, extra syrup, just like she'd muttered, her eyes softened. The halfway home at the church had a single empty room. She didn't unpack for a week, suitcase sitting in the corner like it was ready to run. Yet slowly, her walls began to crack. She helped in the kitchen, teased the kids during youth basketball. Once, he caught her humming while washing dishes. One Sunday, she sat in the back during service. When the choir sang, "Come as you are," her arms stayed crossed, but her expression faltered, just enough to show something beneath the surface. For a while, it felt almost normal. Then Hosea saw him. Marcus. Tall, lean, leaning against a lamppost, gold chain glinting. "Hey, Gomer. Didn't know you were slumming it with church folk now." She froze. Her laughter came less easily after that. And sometimes, she stared out the window like she was waiting for something she didn't want to see. It didn't happen all at once. First, she skipped community dinners. Then she disappeared for hours. Her suitcase sat closer to the door. One Friday night, Hosea went to find her. Her room was empty, her phone off. 2 days later, a tip led him to a run-down motel. Room 6B. She opened the door just enough to peek out. Her hair was tangled, eyes bloodshot. A man's voice called from inside. "You coming back, babe?" "Come home, Gomer," Hosea says. She shook her head. "I told you. I'm not church girl material." "You're good, Hosea. Too good. And I'm this. I don't care what you call yourself. I care about you." "Then you're a fool," Gomer says. She turned back inside. The door closed. And the rain kept falling. Days passed. Then the call came. She's with Marcus. She owes him big. Bring cash. Tonight. Hosea emptied his savings. took what was left in the church's fund. He even borrowed from friends. By midnight, a backpack full of crumpled bills weighed on his shoulders. The warehouse smelled of oil and smoke. Marcus sat in a torn leather chair. Gomer was curled in the corner, lips split, eyes dull. "How much?" Hosea asked. Marcus named the price. Hosea didn't flinch. Marcus counted the money, then waved him over. "She's all yours." Hosea knelt in front of her. "Come on. Let's go." She hesitated, then let him help her up. They walked out into the night without a word, only the crunch of gravel under their feet. They didn't speak until they reached the church. Inside, she stood with arms crossed, bracing for judgment. Hosea says, "I'm not here because you changed, Gomer. I'm here because you're worth it, even when you don't believe you are." "You think you can save me?" Gomer asked. Hosea replied, "No. But I can love you while you figure out how to save yourself." Her laugh broke into sobs. And for the first time, she cried without fighting it. A few hours later, they stood on the rooftop. The horizon glowed gold. The city stretched beneath them, gritty and imperfect. "I don't know if I can be who you think I am," Gomer mentioned. "Then just be who you are. The rest will come," Hosea replied. They stayed until the sun rose, her future still uncertain. But for once, she wasn't running. It wasn't a fairy tale. Some days, she stumbled. Some nights, the ghosts returned. But she stayed. She cooked in the kitchen. She sang in the choir. Laughed more. Hosea never tried to turn her into someone else. He just walked beside her, steady as the sunrise. Some said he was a fool to love her. But maybe the real foolishness is believing some people are beyond it. Thank you for viewing. Hope you enjoyed the story. Kindly like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more unequal love stories of forbidden love and unstoppable truths.